Good morning, dear students. This is Dr. Kiran Deshwal, Assistant Professor English. In this video lecture, I will teach you the sonnet on his 23rd birthday, composed by John Milton. Before starting the poem, let us have a brief introduction of this sonnet. This is Sonnet 7, often referred to by its opening line, How soon has time? And it was written by the English poet John Milton. Scholars date the sonnet to 1632. It means this sonnet was written in 1632 when Milton was a young man and studying in his family home, though it was not published until 1645. So you have to remember that though this sonnet was written in 1632, but it was published in 1645, and this is sonnet number 7. The poem's speaker anxiously reflects on his failure to accomplish anything big during his short life, and then comforts himself by turning to religion. He will accomplish exactly with God. Exactly what God wants him to, nothing more and nothing less. The poem thus takes a side in the religious debates that ravaged Europe in the 17th century. Milton implicitly rejects the notion that life gains meaning through work, a position broadly associated with Catholicism. Instead, taking up a Puritan stance, he endorses the notion that his own life will be dignified by faith alone and by the grace that God extends to him. Sonnet 7. How soon has time, the subtle thief of youth? Let us have a brief summary of the sonnet. In this sonnet, the speaker laments how quickly time, which he compares to a thief that robs people of their youth, has stolen his 23rd year. His days pass swiftly in a rush, yet he has not produced anything substantial. He doesn't physically look like the man he is close to becoming, and though has potential, he doesn't seem as impressive or promising as those who have accomplished more in their time. But whether it be small or large, whether it happens sooner or later, whether he does will be nothing more or less than his fate, however mundane or exalted, and which only time and God determine if he has the grace to follow. The theme of this sonnet is work, ambition, and aging. How soon has time is in part a poem about the fear of failing to accomplish something meaningful in life. In the first 8 lines, this is an Italian sonnet. As I told you, there are two types of sonnets in English literature, Shakespearean sonnet and Miltonic sonnet. So in Shakespearean sonnet, we have three quatrains and one concluding couplet. But in Miltonic sonnet, the sonnet is divided into two parts. Students, you must remember that sonnet is a poem of 14 lines, and in Miltonic sonnet, you will have two parts. First 8 lines are known as octave part, and last 6 lines are known as sestet part. In the first 8 lines, the speaker complains that he has reached the ripe old age of 23 without doing much of note. In making this complaint, the speaker suggests that the value of his life depends on his actions and more specifically his accomplishments. Though he will complicate his assertion by the end of the poem, he initially argues that his merit as a man depends on the work he produces during his dwindling time on earth. The poem begins with the speaker announcing his astonishment about how quickly his life has gone by. Describing time as a thief in the poem's first line, the speaker characterizes his experience of aging as one of loss, even robbery. Something vital has been taken from him. As the poem continues, it becomes clear that what he has lost or is losing is possibility itself, the possibility of accomplishing something grand and ambitious. The speaker notably describes himself as on the verge of being fully a man. Yet though his youth is behind him, he has yet to produce a bud or blossom. Here the speaker plays with some of the tropes of Renaissance poetry, in which youth is often compared to spring. The speaker is somehow out of joint with time. Though his spring is almost over, he has yet to bear any flowers. In its density of symbolic language, the poem raises some implicit questions for its reader. One might wonder, for instance, what these buds or blossoms represent. That is, what the speaker hopes to accomplish in his life and has not yet. In this regard, the speaker is circumspect, refusing to specifically unfold his ambitions for his readers, but he does make some tantalizing hints. For instance, he uses the word career in line 3. He employs it primarily in an old fashioned sense, meaning something like rushing recklessly or running out of control, but the modern sense of the word is present too. The speaker wants to do something meaningful and consequential with his life, and he wants to do it in a way that other people will recognize. The first 8 lines thus present an ambitious yet anxious speaker, someone who is eager to make his mark on the world, yet who feels his life slipping by, and who feels like his life will be meaningless unless he manages to accomplish some god public project that other people can witness and appreciate. The poem thus implicitly asks reader to consider an important set of questions about life itself. Working through the speaker's anxiety, the reader begins to wonder what makes life meaningful. The speaker suggests an answer to that question. Work makes life meaningful, and the things one accomplishes are what matter. Let us start our poem. On his being arrived at the age of 23rd, on his 23rd birthday, it is sonnet 7, and it has been entitled with different titles. Let me read the poem first. How soon hath time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 23rd year. My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no bud or blossom soothe. So first of all we will see the rhyme scheme, and the rhyme scheme of an Italian sonnet is, for the octave part it will be A B B A B B A, and for the sestet part will be C D E C D E. So youth will rhyme with sooth, year with career, A B B A. Perhaps my same balance might deceive the truth, that I to manhood am arrived so near, and inward ripeness doth much less appear, that some more timely happy spirits induce, truth induce, near appear. Again we have A B B A. So the rhyme scheme of this poem is A B B A. See, youth and sooth, year, career, truth, induce, near, appear. So A B B A and A B B A. Now let us have this line by line explanation. How soon has time, कितनी जल्दी समय, द सटल थीफ ऑफ यूथ, यहाँ पे उसने समय को चतुर चोर कहा है. सटल थीफ, बहुत ही चालाक चोर है समय, ऑफ यूथ, जवानी का. The writer here wants to say that, the poet here wants to say that यंग एज पासिस क्विकली, हमारा जो यंग एज है वो बहुत जल्दी ख़त्म होता है, हम बुढ़ापे की तरफ बढ़ते जाते हैं. हाउ सून हैज़ टाइम, द टाइम हैज़ स्टोलन who is the subtle thief of youth, who is a clever thief the time has stolen on his wing. So, time here has been personified as a thief having wings. So, time has stolen on his wing 3 and 20th year. It means 23 years of his life. उसकी जिंदगी के 23 साल गुजर गए हैं. My hasting days fly on with full career. फुल कैरियर, फुल स्पीड. मेरे दिन जो हैं वो फुल स्पीड से निकल रहे हैं. इट मीन्स माई लाइफ इज पासिंग ऑन बट माई लेट स्प्रिंग नो बर्ड और ब्लूजम स्मूथ. पर मेरी ज़िंदगी में अभी कोई अचीवमेंट नहीं आया है. बर्ड और ब्लूजम, ना कोई कली खिली है ना कोई फूल खिला है. इट मीन्स आई हैवंट अचीव्ड एनीथिंग रिमार्केबल टिल नाउ. Perhaps my same balance might deceive the truth. It happens. People mature physically, but they remain immature mentally. Here, Milton wants to say that both mentally and physically I am immature, and my physical growth and mental growth doesn't compare with the growth of an adult. Like people, that I too manhood am arrived so near. Now soon I will become an adult. At the age of 25, people become adult, and inward ripeness does much less appear. But mentally I'm immature till now. That some more timely happy spirit in youth. Some people अचीव दिस राइपनेस. कुछ लोगों में शारीरिक और मानसिक विकास बड़ी जल्दी हो जाता है, पर मिल्टन कहते हैं कि मुझ में अभी इन दोनों की ही कमी है. येट बीट लेस और मोर और सून और स्लो. वो विकास तो होता ही है, चाहे कम हो चाहे ज़्यादा. सून लेस कम, मोर ज़्यादा, सून जल्दी, स्लो धीरे. चाहे जल्दी हो चाहे धीरे. इट सेल बी स्टिल इंस्ट्रिक्टेड मीजर इवन. ये होगा तो सही. टू दैट सेम लोट हाउएवर मीन और हाई. उसी तरह चाहे वो कमज़ोर हो चाहे उच्च हो. टुवार्ड विच टाइम लीड्स मी एंड द विल ऑफ हेवन. उसी की तरफ समय मुझे ले जाए जा रहा है. एंड द विल ऑफ हेवन, और भगवान की इच्छा शक्ति भी. ऑल इज इफ़ आई हैव ग्रेस टू यूज़ इट. और वो सब, जब भी मुझ में वो मेंटल और फिजिकल राइपनेस आएगी, तो वो सब इफ़ आई हैव ग्रेस टू यूज इट. सो अगर मुझ में काबिलियत होगी उसको यूज़ करने की, एज एवर इन माई ग्रेट टास्क मास्टर्स आई, मैं उसको यूटिलाइज करूँगा मेरे मालिक मेरे भगवान की सेवा में. सो दिस इज़ अ पर्सनल सोनेट बिकॉज Milton writes about his mental and physical condition here. He says that I am 23 years old, and till now I haven't gained any maturity. And this is a religious sonnet because he fully believes in God that one day he will achieve the talent and the intellect and the physical and mental growth and maturity which is due to him, and he will serve his master with all his capacity and ability. So in this sonnet, Milton shows his deep faith in God, and his faith is inflexible and unshakable. So it's a personal sonnet, it's a religious sonnet, and the sonnet is divided into two parts, octave part and sestet part. In the octave part, the poet describes his dilemma or his problem, that he is perturbed, he is tense to know that he haven't achieved anything remarkable, but at the end he shows that he is hopeful, he is optimistic that one day he will achieve the maturity and he will use it to serve his master or almighty. Thanks for watching. We will be continuing our next video.